According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, on average, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the U.S. I was one of them. Last year, Chasity Wright became one as well after being held hostage and shot 4 times. Now she's sharing her story of this often hidden crime. We have a warning. This story contains graphic content. It's said a picture is worth 1,000 words. This engagement photo of Chasity Wright and her former fiancé shows happiness. What it doesn't show is the sad day ahead for them.
Well, we had known each other since high school, and like I said, he did do 12 years in prison, and I believe the remaining of his last 2, he reached out to me on Facebook, and we started talking from there. And I would go see him in prison on visitation days sometime.
He served time for armed robbery and seemed to have turned his life around. He became the man of her dreams.
The proposal was very unexpected, but I was happy in the relationship. I was. He didn't give any bad vibes to me.
Suddenly, he created a nightmare. She says May 6th, 2020 started normally, but after a seemingly peaceful talk in their bedroom and the removal of her engagement ring, things changed.
I guess by me taking mine off, that triggered something with him. I don't know, maybe he thought that I didn't want to be with him anymore. I don't know, but I just told him we'll talk when he get back, and I'll see him when he get back from orientation.
He left, but not for orientation. Instead, he got a gun.
He just was standing in the doorway, and we were kind of close range, face to face, and he just had his hands behind his back and pulled it out and shot me in the leg. And my daughter was standing right here in the living room. All of this happened here at my home where we are now. And she heard it, and she ran in the bedroom, and she was like, "Oh my God, Mama!" And she turned around and ran back down the hallway. And
then when I was running out, he grabbed my shirt really hard. I felt the shirt like tugging on my neck and stuff, and I looked back and I seen the tip of the gun. That's why I got scared, started screaming even louder, because I thought this might be my last day. I was like, especially how close it is from my neck into my head. So then I was able to get away, and I just ran across the street as fast as I could. And I looked back, and he was just staring and looking at me.
Chastity's then 11-year-old daughter Armani made it across the driveway to her aunt's home and called 911. However, part of her shirt and her mother's life were in his hands.
Then he came back and ran in the bedroom where I was, and I was just like, oh my God, why did you do that? Why did you do that? And he said, "You made me do that."
Soon, several law enforcement agencies and the Aiken County Sheriff's Office SWAT team arrived outside. Meanwhile, inside the apartment, things went from bad to worse.
He shot me in my stomach, my chest, and I was grazed on the top of my head in the doorway. We were in the living room at that time.
Her body riddled with gunshots. The next 2 hours would begin the toughest battle to save her own life.
Fell down to the ground after those 3 shots, and we were just in here for a very long time while they were trying to get us out. They were using flashbangs and tear gas and things like that. So I had started to burn inside. My body was burning. I was cramping up and shortness of breath. He told me when they came in to get me, he was gonna kill himself. And he said he wasn't going back to prison.
While talking, a window started shattering with rounds of tear gas being tossed inside to force the suspect out. The last round filled the room with smoke and filled Chasity with determination.
It landed directly in front of me when they threw it in, and it was just, I couldn't already breathe, and inhaling that smoke and the gas, it was unbearable. And I just got up off the floor and ran out my back door. And God gave me the strength, and my mom's spirit was here with me. And so when I ran out, they told me to put my hands up and get on the ground, and that's when I collapsed forward, and I fell face down, and they came running over to me and dragged me across the road.
As she was rushed to the hospital, her fiancé's standoff with police continued. While inside, he shot himself and used his own blood to write final words to Chasity above their bed. He also used her phone to snap pictures of himself in a mirror. Then he took his own life. Chasity spent several days in the ICU. Since then, her gunshot wounds have healed. Her smile quickly returned. Chasity has now created a new picture of happiness and peace. This one is due to faith, family, and forgiveness.
6 months after I was shot, I did forgive him for what he did to me and my daughter, because God forgives, and he would want me to forgive him.
Chasity says Armani is her hero for risking her life to run and call 911. Now, if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, there are helpful resources locally. Contact Safe Homes Domestic Violence Center or the Cumbie Center to assist abused persons. For more information and to see Chastity's story again, go to our website, WJBF.com.